Hey everyone. So I hope I have a good enough signal. It is just so beautiful out here. As you can see, I am in the red rocks of Sedona, Arizona. And I was really trying to find vortex energy. The energy does feel really good here. I don't know if I'm in one of those spots or not. But this is where I found a spot. This is where Spirit led me. So this is where I am. So let me turn the camera around and say hello, hello, hello. I'm going to sit on this beautiful tree that's providing a spot for me to sit and share my thoughts with you guys about this week's module. So let me take these off so you can see me. There we go. So this week we are doing module 3A. There's going to be a few more other modules in the third module, all dealing with mindfulness practices and really tuning into your inner self. And so that's kind of the whole point of, sort of on this phase of your healing journey, is to really begin to tune into your own inner voice, to start to listen to the voice of your healer, and to really allow yourself to learn and practice flowing with this energy of the healer inside. Trust me when I tell you that I'm on the journey with you, and I'm learning every day more and more how to listen to this inner voice. It's pretty amazing. And I know that some of you have already experienced this, but I think that it's really important to have a concerted time and to have a committed time where you're giving yourself permission to really practice and to really get in tune with what's going on inside of you. So there are 3 parts of the PDF, and each part talks about a little bit different aspect of getting to alpha. So of course, when I say getting to alpha, we're talking about getting to a place where your brainwave is nice and even. That's where we get into relaxation, and alpha is sort of like the first level of relaxation. And so it's that level of relaxation where you are really alert, but yet you're feeling calm, you're feeling at peace, your nervous system is coming into alignment. Then you can continue into deepening your state of relaxation by going into delta, which is where we begin to go into the REM sleep. And then also we can drop into theta, which is where we go into a very deep, relaxed state where we can actually become even more in tune with our inner self, our inner voice, our subconscious mind, our higher mind. So all of these things can happen when we start to practice these different altered states, right? And so the best way to start doing this is really to begin to develop a mindfulness practice. And I'm trying to stay in the shadows here, not get my face partially in sun. So sorry about that, but that's what I was doing. And so when we begin this practice, it's going to begin with the practice of mindfulness. And you can begin this practice with just 5 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be, 2, 3, 4 hours of, trying to sit in meditation and things like that. But when you just sit in mindfulness for 2 or 3, 5 minutes a day, you can begin to start this process. And as you commit to doing it, it will begin to take on a life of its own. I know it was hard for me when I first started to do it. And it was just a matter of, sort of making that commitment to make it a daily practice. So in mindfulness, really all you're doing is just bringing your awareness to the present moment. How we do that most of the time is through paying attention to the breath. So you're just going to focus on your breathing. You don't have to do anything specific. You don't have to set any specific intentions. You just need to bring your awareness into the present moment. And when you bring your attention to the present moment, you can be paying attention to things that are happening internal. You can start to notice how your body feels, where you're holding on to tension, where you may have pain. And you can also pay attention to things external. What are the sounds that you're hearing? We tune a lot of things out, right? We tune out the sounds of the traffic in the distance and sounds from other people doing things around us. So you can start to really tune in and focus and start to pay attention to what's happening in the moment. And that's all mindfulness is. The more attuned you become to what's happening in the moment, the more later on, as we begin to deepen our practice, the more we will be able to bring awareness to our thoughts and feelings in the moment and begin to make deliberate choices about what those thoughts and feelings are. And knowing that in the present moment, those thoughts and feelings that you're having are what's sort of putting you in the frequency or vibration of what experiences are coming to you. So being mindful of the deliberate ability to influence what your future experiences are is a very powerful way to be in the world. So that's mindfulness. Another aspect of this getting to alpha is through meditation. And so again, giving easy tools, simple tools for doing meditation is guided meditations or listening to meditation music as you're in that relaxed state. You can do this for 5 minutes, do it for 10, 15, 20 minutes, up to an hour, hour and a half if you have the time. But really kind of, still giving yourself permission to start slow, not feeling like, you're doing anything wrong if you're not able to do it for long periods of time. So the objective, again, is to just practice the stillness. And in meditation, especially in guided meditation, you can be more intentional. You can set your intention to, pay attention to, healing your body and setting forth on a journey of internal exploration to find out what is really going on, asking those questions, asking your body what's really going on, and waiting and listening for answers. And so in that meditative state, sometimes things can come up to the surface a lot more easily, and I'm sure some of you have already experienced this. So I love the fact that there's nobody out here now. There were a bunch of people out here earlier. Now it's just me and one guy that's over there drawing pictures. So that's really cool. So then that's meditation. And again, there's a guided meditation. There's a couple of them on the website, and I'll be doing more. I think I'll do a couple more while I'm here. And so that will be something to add some bonuses for you guys. And then finally, contemplation. And so contemplation is really a passive activity, but it still brings in the aspect of mindfulness and meditation a little bit. It's just not active thought that's happening. There's an airplane flying over. So what happens in contemplation is it's really dropping into that space of complete sort of detachment from your thoughts, actively, so not actively trying to figure things out, but just setting an intention that, hey, I have this question and I want to know the answer to it. And so while I'm taking a shower, or while I'm washing dishes or vacuuming, or while I'm driving, doing anything else, I'm just going to set the intention for having my subconscious and my higher mind work on this question for me, and then see what comes up. And a lot of times, and I know that you guys have experienced this one as well, that those answers just drop into your consciousness, and you suddenly become aware of what the answer to that question is. And so that's contemplation. So as we go into the next weeks, we're going to be looking more at your human design and contemplating what the gates and channels really mean for you. And that's an activity that you really have to do within your own self. I can give you the information about what gates and channels are and what they are in your chart, but as far as what they mean for you, you're going to have to take the time to contemplate those things. And trust me, as you do this, you will raise your frequency, you will raise your vibration, you will bring yourself to a state of really being able to heal from within. being able to hear the voice of your higher self, of what we're calling our healer, and knowing that that is connected to the way that you're made, and it's all imperfection, and imperfection. Okay, so those are the three components of the mindfulness. Please feel free to share and post any questions or comments that you have in the group, any experiences that you've had. I would really love to hear about what your experiences are with your meditations, your contemplation, and your mindfulness practice. So until next week, I'm going to sign off and walk back down this lovely little pathway here. I don't know if you guys can see it, a little pathway back to the car, and drive Mom back through Sedona, back past all the touristy spots, and go all the way back to Phoenix. So, again, I want you guys to just post any questions or comments that you have, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.